So here is the Ventisquero Yelcho, an easy hiking trail. I think it's 3 kilometers or something. Today is November 8th. So I got here by taking a bus that goes in the direction of Futaleufú at noon from Chaitén. Now the problem is there's no public transportation on the way back. And everybody says, oh, just hitchhike. But that kind of sucks. They should have more public transportation or like shuttles to the tourist zones instead of forcing people to rent expensive cars or hitchhiking. The reason I don't like hitchhiking is because you never know. Not because of the danger. I mean, I don't want to get raped and murdered. Or I'd rather get murdered and then raped, if anything. But I don't want that to happen at all. I mean, I used to hitchhike a lot when I was a kid, but now I just like getting a ride, for sure, at an appointed time. So rent a car then, you might say, right? Well, no thanks. Everything is really expensive in Chile. So, you know, this is a really nice viewpoint. They could trim that tree off a little bit so we could see the other glacier. I actually came here a few 20 minutes ago maybe, but this whole platform was full of people having a picnic, squawking and jostling for selfies here. So I just walked back a bit and looked for a place to sit. There is none. And came back to enjoy the view and solitude. Check it out. And actually, if you just go a little bit past that barrier and down the bank, you get to see way more. I'm not sure if you're allowed to do this, but it's definitely better than the lookout itself. Not that you can see the glaciers very clearly in this video, but there you have it. I just wanted to show a little bit about what this trail looks like. It's fine. And super easy, unless you'd have problems getting over some roots, things like that. And now, or soon, the unknown hitchhiking begins. Not looking forward to that. Well, this totally sucks. Now I've been waiting for a ride for over 2 hours. It's not a very busy road, but there were a few cars and 100% of them passed me by. I thought it was best to wait here at a bus stop, a pull-off, and I go out to the road here when I see a car and stick my thumb out, but nobody feels sorry for me. So, yeah, 2 hours. I mean, this bus shelter is filthy. People have used it as a toilet. There are cigarette butts everywhere. Looks like someone made a fire to try to survive. I wonder if they did. So, maybe I'll have to sleep on this bench tonight. I don't want to do that. And, so there was little point in walking farther down this way, or north rather, up this way, because the next somewhat settlement is a 3-hour walk. Puerto Cardenas. I guess that could be my best bet. I guess if it's 6:15, I'll get there after dark. Maybe there'll be a phone signal there though, and I could message the hostel and ask them to call a taxi or something and pay whatever exorbitant fee would be to come and get me. But you know, there's no point in walking any farther north because there's no other crossroads where people would be coming from, unless they're coming from the other national park, but I doubt that at this time. And Chaitén is an 11-hour and 50-minute walk. So I could be there at 6 in the morning if I start walking now. That's not so good. So maybe I'll give it another hour and start walking to the next buildings 3 hours away. Try to come up with something else. Maybe there'd be a phone signal and I can turn on my eSIM and message somebody or get somebody to call a taxi. But this is not looking good. Oh shit, what's this? There was another bus that passed by and it said Chaitén on it and it didn't stop. So I guess they're not allowed to stop here. I'm gonna try to get this one. No, that bus and the car right after it did not stop. So that's great. Nice place though, some snow-capped peaks. The glacier that I saw is up there. And maybe my tomb. And I just want to add, maybe the information center shouldn't recommend hitchhiking, like taking the bus out here. They said, yeah, there's no bus back, but you can just hitchhike. So yeah, maybe if you're a pretty girl or something, but not this guy. I mean, when I was young and I hitchhiked with a girl, then yeah, people were more prone to pick you up. It was harder with other male friends, but solo here, es no bueno. And I saw two people starting the hike after me, like older than I, maybe Chilean, I don't know. But I said, hola, and I said, oh, it's a beautiful hike, enjoy. And they said, thanks. And I just saw them pull out of the parking lot for the hike. And I went out and stuck out my thumb, and they didn't stop. So that's really nice of them. So in the future, when an information center says, oh, you can just hitchhike there, I'm going to say, no way. It's not worth it for the desperation. So maybe 20 minutes after the last clip, a guy picked me up in a beat up white pickup truck. And he had an orange jumpsuit on, and the back was full of logs. So I translated, do you work in forestry? And he was like, no. So, okay. Obviously there were communication difficulties, but I used Google Translate offline, so I couldn't do the live audio translate, but whatever. I mean, I struggled a lot. But nice of him to pick me up and bring me to El Amarillo, halfway to Chaitén. And from here, you can see the glacier in Pumalin National Park. So since there are no cars right now, I'm gonna go take a look at that. That bus passed me by when I was waiting, but didn't pick me up, so it must be on a private tour. A tour with no mercy. So let's see if we can see the glacier. Oh, not really. You can see the top of the mountain covered in snow, but not the glacier coming down. And my priority right now is to get back to Chaitén. It's only 24 kilometers, so if I walk that, maybe 4 or 5 hours. But let's hope for the best. Well, there's the glacier Michahula or something in Pumalin National Park. It's like a 24-kilometer hike from here. So that's not going to happen. And you won't be able to see it, but it's there. So I got back to Chaitén. A guy in a pickup truck picked me up. He didn't really speak that much. So my Spanish was pretty good because he didn't ask me any questions. I could just say shit that I knew. Hey, look, cats. But yeah, I never want to hitchhike again. That was terrible. Look at this. Hey, kitty. It's a nice cat. Oh, there's one there. Maybe these ones have fleas, or they're protected against it. Thank you for your welcome back to Chaitén. So yeah, I don't want to do that again. It's just too much hassle. I'm going to stick to hiking trails that I can get to on foot, and or bus, or even rent a car. But yeah, this hitchhiking thing is for the birds. I mean, the last time I did it was like 20 years ago or something. So tomorrow I'm heading to Futaleufú, if that's how you say it. And I forgot to mention I got back at about 8:10, so it only took 4 hours. But still, not worth really repeating everywhere. And then I'm going to go eat at that burger restaurant because it's really delicious. They said they were closed for 10 minutes. So, whatever, as long as I get that delicious burger. Everywhere in Chaitén they have these dogs that go apeshit when you walk by. And I don't want to test those guys. I mean, most of the dogs are behind fences. But seriously, they just bark all the time. Like, why would you want that where you live? And you pay for it to survive as well, so it doesn't make any sense. And for this video, they didn't start barking. And I'm on my way out to the bus stop for Futaleufú, so I'm not going to get a video of that today. Hello, this is November 11th. Happy Pepero Day. I'm here in near Futaleufú at Mirador del Aguila. That's Eagle Rock over there. I'll try to get a shot of that if it doesn't rain too hard. It looks like the rain is definitely coming in. So this hike is about 2 hours walk along that road from Futaleufú. So that part of the hike is really not that special, along a gravel road. And then you get to another smaller road, maybe you can see down there, and you climb up here. And it gets pretty nice at the end of it. To get in, this is private property, so at the end of this the small dirt road, you pay a guy in the last house before this small dirt path. It was kind of funny because he was pretty wasted, and my Spanish sucks, and he was not impressed. But like, he wasn't intimidating or anything. He just you know, he didn't want to take any of my bullshit. But I tried, and I paid him 2,000 pesos to get in here. And yeah, it's worth it. And those are some kind of birds of prey there. I don't think they're eagles, maybe kestrels. But look at them on Eagle Rock. I'll get a shot of it from the side in a bit. So there's another shot of Eagle Rock. It is forbidden to climb the stone. Dangerous place. And there's the farm where the gatekeeper lives. So you walk up to that dirt road and he'll let you through a gate after you pay your 2,000 pesos. Yeah, I guess that looks like an eagle. Yeah, and I look like Brad Pitt. I guess if you drink enough of whatever that guy's on, it'll look like whatever you want. There you go from this angle. It does look like an eagle watching over this valley. Hey, yes, so it's November 12th today, and I'm back in Chaitén. A bit of a screw up today, well, actually a big one, but not my fault, but everything is anyway. To get to Puyuhuapi from Futaleufú, you have to take a bus that goes back to Chaitén, or you can stop in Santa Lucia, but there is nothing to do there. So I didn't want to stop there. It would be better to come back here where there are public benches and parks and free internet and whatnot in the village. Plus there's, let me see, I got the bus from Futaleufú at 11, and then the bus that goes to Puyuhuapi leaves here at 4:30, or so they said. I'll explain. So I came all the way to Chaitén. It took about 3.5 hours from Futaleufú, and so I got here at what, 2:30, and so I thought I'd go eat some empanadas, which I did, and they were delicious, from some old empanada grandmother in the artisan market in town. And I had talked to the information center and said, oh yeah, maybe I guess I'll be back at 4 for the bus. And he said, yeah, the bus leaves at 4:30 because it meets the connection that comes from Puerto Montt. So I get back to the information center at 4, and I use the free washrooms there, which are great. And then I noticed that the blue bus to Puyuhuapi was no longer there, although it had been before, just waiting, like off. So I went to the information center again and asked the guy, like, what's up? Like, did the bus leave? And he was like, oh shit, yeah, the bus left. And he's like, yeah, I told you 4:30. And I was like, yes, you did. And I came back at 4 to make sure I got that bus. And of course he felt terrible. That guy is a really nice guy. He's really great. It's not his fault that the bus drivers mess around like that, but I mean, the sign on the window says 4:30. So that's pretty uncool. So the problem is I had reservations for 2 nights in Puyuhuapi, and I also made reservations for 3 nights in Coyhaique. And on booking.com it says you'll be charged $100 if you cancel your reservation or change it. That is some major bullshit. So I messaged the first place in Puyuhuapi, and they said, okay, we get it. You know, I explained that the bus left before 4 and is supposed to leave at 4:30. And they allowed me to change it without a penalty. But the next place in Koi something, he's playing hardball because I explained the situation, and he's like, yeah, just change it through the app. So I tried to do that, and it said there are no rooms available for the dates 2 days later. Oh, I didn't mention that the next bus from Chaitén to Puyuhuapi is only on Friday, and it's Wednesday today, so that sets me back 2 days. So I also had to find a place to stay here, and I didn't want to stay at the last place just because the bathroom was too cold and it's uncomfortable to take a shower there. So I walked around to a few different places, and I was looking for a room with a private bathroom, of course, like you know, for basic civility, but I couldn't find one at 4 different places, so I just took one for 25,000 pesos, like 37.50 Canadian, at Hosteleria Chaitén. They're a nice family, but the bathroom's outside. The room's gonna be warm, that's nice. It's noisy, whatever. Man, sometimes the world just conspires against you. But, you know, I had to come back here and enjoy this view. And it's nice. What are you gonna do? Luckily, I've got no time constraints, so, you know, I can't really complain except for all the inconveniences, which are just part of travel, I suppose. So, all right, it is November 13th. An update to being stranded in this beautiful place. So I think I mentioned in the last clip that the place in Puyuhuapi allowed me to change the date. And then the one in Coyhaique, well, I mean, I'm trying to explain to the guy that what happened, you know, not my fault, and that I would like to come 2 days later and still stay for 3 nights. And the guy's like, yeah, just change it in the app. So that's nice, but when I try to change the dates, it says there are no rooms available. And it also says that if you don't show up for your booking or cancel, there's a $100 US fee. So I'm trying to explain this to the guy in the messages, like, I'm concerned about this $100 thing. What should I do? Don't you want me to cancel the room so that you could at least, you know, allow somebody else to book it for the next 3 nights? And eventually he says, well, oh, you can't stay 3 nights, but you can stay 2 on the 16th and 17th. And I'm like, that's great. So I'm still concerned. This is all by Google Translate, of course. So I'm still really concerned about this $100 thing. You know, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to cancel the room? And he's like, oh, you can come and stay. So, like, avoiding the direct questions makes me suspect that he would prefer to nail me with that $100, you know? So I went back to the information center, which is located over there on the waterfront, with that super helpful guy named Daniel. Thank you, Daniel. And he said, yeah, that looks like you might get charged. I was like, well, could you call him, please? You know, and so he did, and talked to the guy. And the person said, oh, well, just leave the reservation and then we won't charge you the extra money. And I'm like, okay, I mean, that's all I can do for now. You know, go there, show up, and see what happens. And Daniel said that if I have a problem, if they do charge me for missing the reservation and then charge me again for staying there, to call him and he'd talk to the guy, because the guy told him that I wouldn't be charged. So there we go. And now I'm just killing time in Chaitén. I came out to the place near the ferry port. It's pretty colorful. And the weather is nice.
Gringo. Dirty foreigner.